It is hard to believe that it's been 20 years since September 11th, 2001. And like Pearl Harbor and the Kennedy assassination before it, if you were alive, you do remember where you were on 9/11.
I was flying Air Force One.
Air Force One, heavy, turn right heading 360.
Air Force One, right 360. Thanks, good morning.
Morning.
Just a normal day when everybody got up and got to the airplane about a normal time, 8:30 in the morning, and then all hope broke loose.
How did you first hear the news that the first tower was hit in New York?
It's actually on television. We had the televisions going, the morning shows on the airplane, and when we saw the second tower get hit, everyone almost didn't have to say anything. Everyone kind of knew, hey, this is not pilot error, like it could have been with the first tower. Plus, everyone just went into action and got us ready to move. I know Secretary Card whispered in President Bush's ear in the elementary school, and we were watching all that on television as well, and we knew what he was telling them.
Now, Scott, at the time you had young children and you're married. Were you able to talk to your wife?
I did call her, and I didn't say where we were, what we were doing, and I just called real quick and just said, hey, listen, we're safe. I did tell her to get the girls out of school. As soon as I know something else, I'll let you know. And so that was pretty much it.
Now, as you can see, the Pentagon is behind me, and I know flying back, you made sure the president and everybody on Air Force One got a view of what happened here at the Pentagon.
Well, we just couldn't believe it. I mean, just to see that the damage and the smoke and just the destruction. And I've been to the Pentagon several times in my career, and I just couldn't believe it. And we actually had a neighbor, a Girl Scout leader that was killed in the Pentagon. She was a contractor for Verizon, so we didn't know at the time, but I had seen all that and just couldn't believe it.
Do you have any memories of President Bush from that day?
I think he's a badass. I mean, I think, I know his statement about we're going to smoke him out.
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
He's a hard-charging Texan, and I was proud of him. I mean, that's a lot for a new commander-in-chief.
I'm sure your wife and children were scared to death, not knowing when you were coming home. How did she find out that you were going to be home that night?
See, the news had already broke that we were heading back to Washington. We would normally fly almost right over our house. We're about a 10-mile final, landing to the north of Andrews on one left or one right. But so I didn't know they were outside. But my wife and daughters and our neighbor, her husband's in the Air Force, were outside, and we flew right over top of them with fighters around us. And I guess it was fairly chilling looking, but right over top of them. Yeah.
As you look back on that day that I'm sure that you and so many of us will never forget, what do you remember about the people you worked with, the people on that plane?
I think just us. I mean, on such an awful day, I mean, we did what we were there to do, and that felt good about it. But it was it's still just horrific.